There is a really cool Belgian tent manufacturer that is called Canvascamp, and they asked us to test out one of their tents. So we took it to the wildest place that we know. And not just Canada, we are in Sunward Naturist Park, and it can't get any more naturist than this. We are Nick and Linz. For the last 5 years, we have been traveling to some of the most amazing naturist places on the planet. And now we embarked on an epic journey to experience naturism in every continent of the world. Subscribe and travel along with us. Right now we are in Canada.
When we arrived in Canada, a couple of big boxes were waiting for us. We gave our new tent a quick try in Bare Oaks before we drove it to Sunwards for the real test. Are you gonna take the tent or am I?
Well, she is big. Let's see. And heavy. Yeah, no, I need help, I need help. Oh. Oh my God. Yes. Oh.
That is 25 kilos of tent. Let's set it up. Did we time how long it took?
No, but let's say 3 minutes.
I doubt that it was 3 minutes, and I also doubt that it was 6 minutes as it says in the brochure, but I'm pretty sure that we put it up in less than 20 minutes. This is pure lake water, but it's filtered. It's not supposed to be drinkable, but I think for coffee it will be fine. There are worse places to have coffee.
Cheers to that.
Is it already naturist weather?
Maybe the pants can come off.
This might be a downside about naturism in Canada, and that's naturist weather only starts at around 10 AM. But of course, we get this. By the way, if you're unfamiliar with naturist terminology, wearing a shirt or a top and no pants is called Donald ducking. It's up to you to figure out why.
It can't get any more Canada than this. This is the image that you have when you open a magazine, when you watch documentaries. I mean, look at it. It's a huge lake surrounded by nature. It's just stunning. The only thing that they don't have here are bears. This is not bear country, so we don't need to hang our food in the trees like you see in the documentaries. We do keep our food in the trunk because there might be some animals who are interested in it. The reason why we immediately said yes to Canvascamp and let them ship a tent to the whole other side of the world was, first of all, they look really, really cool. It looks a little bit like a glamping tent, but then a personal one. Let's have a look inside. Look how big our tent is. We have our mattress, our two-person mattress on one side of the tent, and then we have a lot of space left on the other side of our tent. And then there is the height. But wait, I will bring in a model to just show you how big this tent is.
Hi, my name is Nick. I'm a professional tent model. And as you can see, I have space like this have space like that, and I'm 1 meter 88, or as I recently learned, I'm 6'3". So I can walk around. I can even dance here, which means that this tent is pretty high.
Thank you for your modeling skills, Nick. Besides the fact that this tent is really, really big, it's also made out of quality material. The canvas is all treated and the zippers are really thick and firm. Not only the front has a mosquito net, but there is also a mosquito net all around the tent. So you can just lift up the outer sail for a really nice air ventilation. We are not using it right now because during the nights it gets really, really cold. But I can imagine for those warmer days that this is just perfect. Really nice airflow and no mosquitoes.
In case you're wondering where we got all the other camping gear, we have a friend in Canada called Chris, and we call him Canada Chris because he's the most Canadian person we ever met. So as a Canadian, he obviously has a lot of camping gear that we could borrow. So let's do a quick shout out.
Thank you,
Chris! We had to stop filming for a second because somebody passed by to look at our tent, and we noticed that this happens quite regularly. This is not the average shape or model of tent, so people are curious and want to come have a look. Maybe you think that this is something annoying, but for us it's like an icebreaker. It's a great way to meet people. We didn't just choose this place to try out our tent for its magnificent view, but also because Sunward is quite a basic resort. The more proper name would probably be a rustic resort, but come on, it's basic. The pitches over here are not level at all. There are lots of roots, there are lots of rocks, which is kind of dangerous for the canvas. There are some platforms where you can set up a tent, and here we may encounter disadvantages to our tent. For one, the platforms are too small for a tent the size of ours. And on the other hand, we need the pegs in the ground to secure it. This tent cannot be set up without pegs, so it cannot be set up on a platform. The resort also has no electricity. There is running water, but it comes straight out of the lake. So yeah, rustic, basic, but it does add to the charm of the place, because I imagine that if this had full facilities, the vibe would probably be different. And if we look at naturism from a historical point of view, when people return to the forests to reconnect with nature, I don't think that it can get any more naturist than this. Where are we going to connect with nature?
Well, we have a couple of options. There are some trails here at Sunward, so maybe we can just pick one.
Our hike for today will be the Bear Trail. Not bear, but bear. I'm not really sure if there's a difference in pronunciation. I don't really hear it, but probably there is. I'm still kind of in the middle of whether I would like to encounter an actual bear, as in the animal. I've never seen them in the wild, so I'm not sure if the encounters are great or very scary. But it would be cool if we could see some big animals in Canada.
And just because of that, I want you to be first. Go!
This property is huge. It consists of the whole campground, of the whole lake, and of very big parts around the lake. So I guess that you can hike here for a very long time. The trails are very well maintained, and we have been told that normally we should never get lost here. But of course, what do they know about our navigation skills, right?
Straight, right?
It looks like a trail.
Yeah. Let's go for it.
They also told us that now is the perfect time to go hiking because there's the least of bugs. But there are still quite some around, so I really don't want to know how this is in the other months. I think we arrived at Sunset Rock Trail, but
No sunset?
there should be a lookout point here. And a fence, which is not here. Okay, we found the fence. Okay, this looks like a viewpoint. I think we're on the right track. Well, I hope. And here is where people used to enjoy the view. Well, at least quite some time ago. There are some animals living here, but I doubt that this is what comes out of a bear. We've been walking for quite a while now and still no encounters with bears. Or bears, for that matter.
Do you really think by just talking about it that they will magically appear?
One can only hope. We're right at the other side of the lake, and if you look very closely, I'm sure that you can see our tent. This is one big, very fresh shit. I don't think it's bear. I don't think that bear shit looks like this, but it looks a bit like cow, so maybe it's moose.
Moose.
Do you speak moose?
I do speak moose.
And just like that, we are out of the Canadian jungle, safe and well, not attacked by a moose, not eaten by a bear. The only damage done is maybe a handful of mosquito bites. How about we check out how Canadian you really are?
Talking about the lake?
Yeah, talking about the lake.
Yes.
Real Canadians swim in the lake.
Let's go. Oh, it's yelling my name. So, how Canadian are you?
I have my own ways to celebrate Canada. Blue beer doesn't really get any more Canadian than this. By the way, this is not a sponsor, unfortunately. So if you work at Blue or you know anybody who does, show them this video. It can help us. This is called rustic cooking, and honestly, we wouldn't want it anywhere else. Because for us, we lead quite a connected life. We're always on the internet, always on social media, and these are the places where we can really get back to rest. Of course, sleeping in a fancy tent does help a lot with the comfort. If there's one thing I can teach you as junior Canada camper, it's to always save all the paper you can find, because Canadians like to make a fire. There are fire pits everywhere, but you may need something to light the fire. The only thing we still need is marshmallows.
How can we forget about that?
That is why we are still junior Canadian campers. What a great place to wake up to, and I have to say we had a very good sleep. We can very much recommend these tents. Of course, we didn't test them out in extreme weather, maybe yet, maybe it's for another video, but I very much hope not so. In any case, thank you Canvascamp for the opportunity, and while we're at it, also thank you to Canada Chris and Canada Teresa for letting us borrow their stuff. Yeah. Thank you for Orbit Car Hire for making sure that we got here safely. Thank you to the lovely people of Sunward for their hospitality. And thank you for watching this.
I don't think Canada will get any better than this.
I'm not sure, but because we still haven't seen the very big wildlife. And Canada Chris gave us a tip about where we might be able to find them. But that is for our next video. So if you don't want to miss that,
make sure to subscribe to our channel, put on your notifications if you don't want to miss anything. And if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. And we see you next week with wildlife.
Bye-bye.
We do keep our food in...
That's our toilet paper. We didn't just choose this place to try our tent because of its... And they asked us... So there's quite some chance that...
Thank you for your... The material is also very cool. The material is also made out of very cool... It's also made out of good... The material...